Welcome to a terrible wrestling show. The worst wrestling podcast on the planet that has not been sued yet, but it could be. Like ATWS was almost sued. We had legal documentation that we almost got sued. Terrible Wrestling Show isn't that bad yet, but it could be. It's the worst wrestling podcast on the planet that you should listen to. If it's your first time here, which it probably is, it's the second episode. So that's fair. Hey, I'm Alex Light with Sparky3. If you're having a phenomenal day today, no matter if you're listening to the audio format or watching the video format. When it comes to this show, there's no clear set cast for this show. It's just whoever shows up and wants to have a good time. Today, I'm joined by my ATFS friend and also representing Anime Plus by default because you have to. We have Jacob here. Jacob, how are you?
I love how I'm stuck with that.
We got to have some sort of representation. All right. Last episode of ATWS, we had John with Game Static. We had Ricky with ATFS. You know, we had to have Anime Plus representation. So it was you with your one episode appearance.
I guess, one whole episode and now I'm tied to it.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's stuck to your hip, man.
I'll tell you what. I'm hot as shit right now.
Oh yeah,
and
you
not okay.
Oh.
You and Shane both be hopping all over that comment. It's hot in Ohio. It's very hot. It's very humid.
Yep, same here.
Also, in other news, rest in peace, Sid Vicious.
Yep. Saw that. Rip.
That was out of nowhere.
Yep. Rip.
And I think this PLE is about to be boring as shit, aside from one singular match.
Yeah, today's episode, we will be talking about Bash in Berlin. Again, since this is a new show, I guess it's somewhat important that I reestablish the foundation of the show. That with ATWS, we will have an episode before every single PLE. We plan to have, or like to have, more episodes in between. But if we don't, we don't. We're busy people. Football's back. ATFS is full go right now, so shout out to that. But yeah, today is the Bash in Berlin episode. Next time we will have an episode. It will be October 5th, I think is when the next episode will be posted.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, October 5th, there will be an episode posted with our Bad Blood predictions. So shout out to that. But yeah, Bash in Berlin, a 5-match card. I was going to ask you right out of the top, how do you like these shorter cards? Because I know Triple H recently commented on it like this week that's probably something here to stay. I don't think he commented on it. It's just reports and shit. That shorter cards like this are here to stay for these PLEs because it allows them to have, more explosive stuff on like Raw and SmackDown, which I can kind of see because I'm going to be honest, in the previous era, the Wyatt Six would not have been a Monday Night Raw thing. That would have been a PLE with Chad Gable. I think we can both agree to that. So, how are you liking these smaller cards for these little bit smaller PLEs?
I'm still on the fence about them, to be honest with you, because the last pay-per-view, SummerSlam, there was more commercials and more in-between stuff than there was actual wrestling.
That's fair.
So, on one hand, and that was SummerSlam. Of course, it's going to be a bigger card anyways, but
right.
On one hand, with the smaller cards, like you said, there's more room for wrestling. There's more room for storytelling within the matches themselves, but it just seems like it begins and then it ends very quickly. It's only like 3 hours long, if that.
Yeah, it's like a 2-3 hour show usually with these kind of cards.
I'm on the fence about them. I would much rather, I think every single PLE, 80% of the titles should at least be on the line.
I do agree to that.
In some form, because well, hell, Bayley's nearly entire title run, she barely was on any PLEs.
Yep.
So she really never got to be an actual champion.
Right.
And from what I'm seeing, we don't have the Intercontinental title on this PLE. We don't have the United States title on this PLE. We don't even have any fucking tag teams except for the women's.
No mid-card titles on this at all. There is only the 2 main men's titles, and then there is the women's tag team, which shout out to them for getting on a PLE finally. And then, the other, tag team titles.
Soup.
What? Leave your cantaloupe soup out of this, buddy. Shout out to Tyler just popping in. We also got John that popped in as well.
Go home, baby.
Can't relate. Hey,
look at the best work
company ever. Not really, but it is. He having a
You
stroke or
checking him
something. I
yet?
don't know. All right, then, I'm going home.
All right,
I'm sorry.
Have fun. Drive safe.
Peace out. It's like a 30-second drive, so I'm good.
Drive safe.
You got a booger in your right nostril.
A lot could happen in 30 seconds, my friend.
Something like that. All right, then.
Get your ugly mug out of here. All right, anyway.
I was just joking about the booger.
But yeah, no mid cards. Tag team titles, I don't think they've been defended on a PLE since the split happened.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's been no actual storylines on there. It's been ridiculous in that regard. In terms of the shorter match card, just to also catch John up, who just joined the show. That's what we're talking about, is our opinions on shorter match cards for these PLEs. Do we like them or hate them? I actually don't mind them. I like the feeling of the show kind of feeling kind of condensed, and then like the SummerSlam, the Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble feeling like this huge spectacle, a few times a year. But I do wish that there would be a more consistency on like championship titles being involved. And I would say I would like to see like a minimum of like 6 matches. Give me 6 matches, because that way we can throw in a championship title match in there, which would be great. Again, tag team titles have been shafted since the split. But I also do see the point that them going with these smaller match cards and saving a lot of stuff for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. It is getting some really good matches for TV time. Which causes the meme of, oh my God, we're getting this for free. I mean, it used to be like that back in the day. We used to get some really banger matches on TV, and then there was a long stretch of where it's like, yeah, it's just like, here's a match to have a match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm back and forth on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna jump in. I was gonna say on topic of like number of matches per card, I would let. I mean, I don't want to be overloaded. I think the sweet spot is 6 or 7.
Yeah.
6 or 7 is good, because then you can get like your storyline matches in, and then like you said, you can throw tag matches, some of the mid card, like US or Intercontinental, something like that would be. It'd be cool to see him like more than like TV, and then like every 3 PLEs or something like that.
Yeah.
But speaking of the mid card division is on, like, it is hot right now.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like on both brands as well.
Yeah. Just get you more excited for like this women's mid card that's supposedly going to come here sometime soon. I wonder when that's going to happen.
Probably Survivor Series.
That'd be nice. We need that.
It's either going to be Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble.
Give Chelsea Green the title she deserves. I'm going to stand by it, man. She's going to be a great mid card champion.
I'm not opposed to it, honestly.
All right, here we go. She's going to be a great mid card title, bro. I can't wait. So with John, let me ask you, with your sweet spot of like 6 or 7, whatever, do you think this card feels really light? I mean, only 5 matches as of now. I mean, just for reference, we're recording this on August 29th, so we still got a SmackDown to go. So you never know what could change, but it feels like it's just going to be these 5 matches.
I mean, honestly, I feel like, yes, the card is kind of light. Not even necessarily because of the match length, but the card itself.
Right.
Like, there's gonna be some good matches on this card, but there's several of these where the match is gonna. We pretty much know how the match is gonna go, and especially as like women's tag match, I don't see this being a long match.
See, that is the one match that I'm conflicted on. Actually, believe it or not, that's the only one I'm conflicted on, because there is a part of me that thinks the Unholy Union will actually retain, but it's not going to be because of just like maybe like natural cause. I think this could finally be the split that we've been expecting forever with Bianca and Jade.
It'd be about time.
Yeah, like
Jade is still extremely green and has a lot more work to do before she ever touches a title again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it'd also be kind of weird for it to be the split right after Naomi comes back and starts working with them.
That's true.
Again, immediately, and then immediately going to the split.
Right. That's fair.
It's like, I mean, whether they win or lose, I don't see this match being long. It's either going to be a pretty brutal match, brutal and kind of quick match, or there's going to be a little bit of shenanigans happening.
Yeah.
Something tells me that the match that's going to take the top spot for length is going to be that strap match.
Which I'm so excited for, by the way.
That's probably the only match that I am excited for on this card.
Yeah. So, like, just talking about the storyline that's been Punk and Drew, it's honestly been fantastic in every respect. Like, not even just like the lead up for this match, but just like overall, just like the course of this year. End of last year, whatever. Like, this whole rivalry has been fantastic. I will say I'm getting tired of the bracelet storyline, though.
Same.
Getting tired of that. I love Punk. I understand having that sentimental thing, but it's like, all right, can we go ahead? Can we? The one thing I want out of this match is that we wrap up that storyline. I don't want that to be a storyline ever again.
You're gonna hate one of the pitches I got for it then, because I heard a version of it, and it sounds too. I heard a version of it on a podcast I was listening to earlier in the week, and it sounds too much like something they would do. Which would be, it'd make sense for Punk to win this match to build to a third Hell in the Cell or something.
Yeah.
But imagine Punk hits him with a GTS or something. A round hits three turnbuckles, reaching for the fourth one. Drew lifts his hand up in the air with the bracelet on it. He's like, "Isn't this what you really want?" And then Punk comes over trying to take it from him. Claymore, throw him out of the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't like it.
I mean, that sounds, based on what they've been doing, that sounds more likely.
I mean, it's
something they would do.
That's very possible of something they would do. I don't like it though. I don't like it.
Oh, I don't like it either, but
it's possible.
I can very much see it happen.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. No, I'm so tired of the bracelet. Please don't let anything like that be a thing. All right, like I'm tired of the bracelet storyline. In my opinion, this is a match that I think Punk needs to win to get to that third match at Bad Blood. Just let Punk get the bracelet. Just take the bracelet home. Never bring it back to work. You saw what happened when you brought it to work. All right, you've lost it for months. Okay, just leave it at home. We're not bringing it back to work. All right, buddy. We're not doing show and tell again. So let's relax.
Exchange the bracelet for AJ herself.
Whoa, calm down, man. Jesus.
I've been waiting for her to return for so long in this rivalry.
Man, there was that brief little tease too, where she actually was like working out with Punk in the ring and stuff, and had her ring gear on. I saw those posts, and I'm just like, oh my god, is it actually gonna happen?
I think it's coming. I mean, that might just be wishful thinking, but I would love, because wrestling logic speaking here, they're more than likely going to have their third match of Survivor Series.
Not Bad Blood?
And I would love for... What?
Not Bad Blood?
No. I think that card is probably going to be worse than this card.
Really?
On the off... but the thing that would make it nice is if they finally bring back a First Blood match for that PLE.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think the PLE cards go downhill from here until Survivor Series.
Watch them bring back First Blood match, and it gets drawn very quickly in match by accident.
That would be very likely to happen.
Hilarious.
That'd be very
like
possible.
It's an elbow that hit the mat and it's bleeding or whatever. Yeah.
Well, just think back to SummerSlam with Gunther and
Damien.
Damien. When Damien chopped Gunther's chest and it started bleeding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. I wonder how that would go if they did another First Blood match and someone accidentally started bleeding. Are they just gonna do the same thing they did when the ref clearly counted to 3 in one of the priest matches? I think what it was, it was Damien Seth, I think, where he clearly counted 3 when he wasn't. It's
he was supposed to hit 3 and he just he didn't kick out and he just stopped the count.
So I wonder is the ref's gonna just I don't see blood. Anyway, continue with the match. The ref got to be the one to keep the curtain a little bit up for us, or is it going to be the ref rules? Sorry, I know it's been 2 minutes, but you're bleeding, buddy. Get out of here. But I don't know. I can see Punk and Drew at Bad Blood, man. Bad Blood hasn't happened since like what, the late 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I can see it happening there. To get a nice Hell in the Cell match, Bad Blood Hell in the Cell match. That has a nice ring to it.
I could see it happening, but I think since it's going to be the third match between the two, that it would be more appropriate to have it at a bigger pay-per-view like SummerSlam.
I do agree to that. But
it's going to have to be some type of stipulation like this one is.
Yeah.
We can't go from strap match to normal match.
Oh, 100% agreed.
They got to keep raising the stakes.
Hell in the Cell, please.
Or steel cage, either way.
Yeah. Strap match though, gonna be really sick. Okay, for anyone that has not seen Punk and MJF's a match that they did, like the chain match, whatever, that match is awesome. That whole rivalry was awesome, and I'm getting hard vibes from that into this, and I'm so damn excited for it. The strap match is gonna be legit. Like I've been very excited for this whole like storyline they've been telling. Besides the bracelet thing, I just love it's just one of those. It's one of those great cases between two amazing on-screen, performers in wrestling where they're really selling the hatred to a new level. You know what I mean? And it feels great. I can't wait for this match.
Hey, shout out to my current favorite number one wrestler, MJF.
Oh yeah, MJF's a dog, man.
I love a good heel,
dude.
I love a good heel.
Yeah, MJF's a dog, dude. Shout out.
I would much rather watch a heel than a babyface any day of the week.
Oh yeah, especially if they're a good heel. Absolutely.
That's why I cannot stand Cody Rhodes right now.
Just wait. Just give him that year and a half mark. Give him that year and a half mark. He'll go full heel.
Give me Homelander Cody Rhodes.
Dude, I do think a heel Cody Rhodes would be sick.
Yeah.
Like
I'm starting to believe less and less that he's gonna go like he's gonna go like kind of full on heel.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna end up playing like an in between role,
right?
Where it's gonna be kind of like the lead up to WrestleMania, where he was still babyface, but like he'll come out like when he gets serious and he's gonna kind of get that attitude to him. He's just gonna come out wearing a black suit,
right?
And then occasionally like work a little more like heel in match. Mm-hmm. But I don't think will actually transition to like a full heel.
See,
I think he could be an even bigger heel than what Roman Reigns was.
See, okay. My stance on it is I do agree with John. I don't think he'll ever go full heel just because he is like the face of the company. He's the new John Cena. So I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, it's a different era. So Triple H may be willing to entertain that, right? I mean, it worked out for Roman being the heel and being the face of the company. So, it's like, why not Cody, right? But like, I think from a storyline perspective, I think there's so much potential for him to go heel because like I saw like, I'm sure both of you have seen like the clip of from Undertaker's podcast where they talked about it, where it's just like, oh, I can see it now. Cody talking about like, oh, I'm better than my dad or whatever, blah, blah. And Taker's like, get my blood boiling right now. But I also saw someone talk about it like earlier this week that I thought was so interesting. It's like, dude, that would be a storyline of like Cody going full heel and going after all of Dusty's kids from NXT and picking them all off. That would be such a sick storyline, bro. Like, let's be honest, that would be awesome with a heel Cody.
But a lot of the original Dusty's kids are no longer with WWE anymore. They're with AEW or with New Japan.
Well, the ones that are left, though, let's just pick them off.
Hey, it's a new era that maybe Triple H just let him go pick them off too.
Oh yeah, start fucking WWE.
I think that'll only happen if Shane McMahon takes over AEW.
Yeah, I've
like
seen
the rumors.
I've seen the rumors on that. I saw the little quick segment of no context of John Moxley saying, "This isn't your company anymore," and just leaving.
Yep.
No.
Imagine if Shane takes over and then out of nowhere we see Vince's face on the Jumbotron for an AEW event.
Did you guys see Vince's documentary that's coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix this November. The Rise and Fall of Vince McMahon.
He was an executive producer for it.
I'm sure he was. I didn't see that part, but I'm not surprised. I'm sure he was.
Yep.
So, only the best of the worst things are going to be in there.
Hey, can we talk about a match that shouldn't even be on a PLE?
Which one is that?
I mean, Damien and Rhea versus Dominic and Liv.
I can understand it being on a PLE.
Okay.
What
you said,
that could have went to a mid card title or a tag title.
I don't.
I do agree with you there, but one thing you got to keep in mind is every little clip that WWE has posted to their YouTube and stuff, or like to their socials, that is involving with like the Liv Dom Rhea storyline, all of them like explode. Everybody
Yeah.
is loving to see those. So it's like they see those numbers, and it's like you gotta think. I mean, out of everybody in the company this year, Rhea's probably got the second biggest pop, this out like to Roman when she came back.
Yeah.
And every time she comes out, everybody just explodes.
I would say third or fourth biggest pop. You're forgetting when LA won the title. I think that was a bigger pop.
That would.
And I personally think even the pop when Dom turned on Rhea was a bigger pop than Rhea returning.
Maybe it's hard to tell with some of the stadium shows during the PLEs. You can't tell how big the reaction actually is.
That's why I wish every crowd was either like the French crowd or the Puerto Rican crowd.
Yeah.
Man, I want another Puerto Rican backlash with Bad Bunny.
Oh, I know.
That entrance was just something else.
Yeah, just like the backlash over in France. Like that was incredible.
Backlash is becoming a sneaky, consecutively good PLE every single year.
Yeah.
But it's kind of just like, I mean, Backlash is the main one that's been targeted so far, it seems. But some of these kind of B pay-per-views, they're really scouting out some of these like countries to go to that they haven't been to try to get some of those reactions, and it is working.
Oh yeah.
I think the only crowd that it started out not working well in the Saudi crowd, but they've become a lot better over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to hear the pop for when Gunther walks out in front of this Berlin crowd.
True.
That's gonna be incredible.
And I hope the crowd still continues to sing Randy Orton's theme song.
I love that he made the joke about that, where it's just like, it means so much to me that you're singing my song, but it took you 15 years to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing because like it's good. The place is gonna explode when Gunther comes out.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's Randy Orton, and every time he comes out, the entire place, like you said, everybody's singing his song. Nobody's gonna boo Randy Orton anymore. Everybody loves him now.
Yeah, at this point of his career, he's not gonna get booed. I think the only way he'd get booed is whenever it comes time and he turns on Cody. Even then, he'll get cheered.
I hope it's within the next year, man.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I hope he turns on Cody and punts him right in the fucking head to do it.
I hate to say, I don't think it's actually gonna be a turn. I think it's more gonna be along the lines of, or a longer version of it. But what we have with Kevin Owens right now, where Randy after his time with Gunther here, is gonna start eyeing up Cody's title and start going after him, but not like turning on him. Just be like, hey, it's like you gave him a shot. He's been helping you out. I've been helping you out. I want to try to get a couple more reigns under my belt for this, for the record. Like, I got a couple more to go. I want my shot at it, and it'll be more of a respect thing, kind of what's happening now.
Don't even get me started about what's happening between Cody and Kevin. This is the worst storyline leading up to a championship match that I have seen in quite some time.
I don't like it.
I could not care less about it right now.
They could have made me care if they went ahead and pulled the trigger and let Kevin Owens be Kevin Owens and actually hit Cody in the back of the head with the title the other night.
Yep.
Then I would have been like, okay, here we go. I'm on board. I'm on. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this big loving. I love you, bro. Love you too, bro. Let's have a match. All right, bro. I don't like it. I don't like the mentality of Kevin Owens. Just like, oh, I don't want to have the match. I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Exactly.
I totally understand the mindset of oh, I haven't earned it. Whatever. He's taking a John Cena approach essentially, right? But it's I don't like that for the character that's always been portrayed by him.
Yep.
Now, it's granted, it's an older Kevin Owens. I understand character changes, stuff like that. I get it. I hate the fact that we get out of SummerSlam, with the whole bloodline storyline and everything that is obviously not done. And then just immediately go and say, all right, first SmackDown after, all right, Kevin Owens, my best buddy in the whole wide world. I'm giving you a title match.
Well, yeah, we gotta keep Cody away from the bloodline for a little while they resolve their issues between the two versions of it.
Yeah.
So we gotta have people for Cody to face off of. Who's the top challengers on SmackDown over there? Well, it'd be Kevin and Randy.
Yeah.
It's if you take all bloodline and everything out of it, everyone else is pretty much in the U.S. title scene.
Which I think is ridiculous. They just threw everybody into the U.S. title scene.
Got to give him something for his first feud.
Hey, it's making those qualification matches and first contender matches and everything. They're all fantastic.
Welcome to the show, Shane. You're muted. You're muted, buddy. I think Shane's still at work. But anyway, no, the U.S. title has just been extremely overfilled, right? But yeah, you got to give him something for his first feud. You know what I mean?
I'd have been cool if for this PLE he would have open challenged it.
Honestly, that would have been a better idea.
I would have loved to have seen maybe, I don't know, Gargano or Logan Paul.
Logan's gonna be gone for a while.
He's gonna be gone for, or maybe.
Yeah.
How about that's one of the better of the veterans on the WWE roster? How about we give Shinsuke a fucking chance,
dude?
Please?
He hasn't been on TV in fucking forever.
Yeah, and every time he has, he's lost.
I know.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to think last year as well, when to lead up and kind of heat Cody up after. I think it was after his tag run with Jay, and he had wasn't it last year he had a series of matches with Shinsuke?
Who? Cody?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a couple years ago.
No, it was last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Shinsuke had a feud with Cody, and then he immediately went into a feud after that with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Which the Seth feud and Shinsuke was awesome.
Yeah, but
true.
Shinsuke just got done losing a series of matches to Cody last year.
Yeah.
But my point in saying a open challenge, I think this would have been a perfect idea to do for this type of PLE with a Gargano or a Ciampa or a Montez Ford or somebody who is lower on the card but could be elevated by this type of match and could be turned into a superstar by this type of match.
You're looking for a John Cena U.S. title sort of vibe, aren't you?
Bro, give me Street Profits need to break up ASAP. Montez Ford is a world champion in the making.
Hopefully LA Knight will do an open challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, to your point of Cody should have done it like an open challenge or something, 100% agree. I would rather an open challenge have been done rather than 3 weeks of I don't care about this match.
Yeah. Yep. Or Carmelo Hayes, even. That would have been nice too.
Dude, he's so lost on SmackDown right now.
He really is.
Dude, it's he's come over to
is.
SmackDown and it's he's immediately a different person. He's fucking up promos and stuff. Even that first match he had on SmackDown with Cody, I think there were a couple issues in that match and everything. Like Carmelo's come up to the main roster as this top draft pick, and he's just been lost. He's lost in the sauce, my friend.
Or you know who would have been a pretty good idea? Because you know very well he's had some banger matches on both AEW and WWE, both on the main roster and in NXT. Andrade.
I knew you were about to say Andrade.
It's like you bring him back and you're not doing anything with him either besides that WrestleMania match.
And they gave him the Speed Championship.
Which, you know,
no one cares about.
Listen. Me and John talked about this whenever they crowned Ricochet. Look, if they want that thing to be like notable, I mean, obviously, I guess to an extent it is. They're getting an ungodly amount of views on Twitter. Dude, they need to carry that title on the main screen. They need to.
Yeah.
They need to carry that out there.
Yeah, like when Ricochet first won the belt, like I didn't have the episode on, and Alex texted me. He's like, I can't believe he doesn't have the belt with him.
Yeah, like it's just
I turned it on. I was like, why do you even promote it if you're not gonna have him carry it around like it's a big deal?
Yeah,
like,
so
because
stupid.
they mention it on commentary every time the Speed Champion shows up on screen.
I get it's a new concept for a belt. I understand that, but it's just a glorified cruiserweight championship.
It really is.
Why not just bring back the cruiserweight title? And please, for the love of God, do not bring back 205 Live unless you're going to do it properly.
205 Live. Shout out to that.
The other thing is, it's like with the numbers they've been getting on Speed, aren't they doing a women's Speed division now?
Are they?
I thought I heard that they were.
I haven't heard that, but it would make sense. And if they do, they need to give Caden Carter a title. Don't laugh.
Think so.
Yeah, give her a title. Give her the Speed title. Her TikToks alone have earned it. Don't shake your head at me. Don't shake your head.
I don't understand. I don't understand TikTok references.
But no, if they did a women's Speed, that would that makes sense, especially with the numbers they're doing. But I mean, seriously, like you got to have that title. Andrade needs to be walking out every week with that title. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be the mentality of someone coming out and making that title seem like the most important thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like that's
Also,
what makes a great champion.
Like the U.S. title currently it's pretty valuable right now.
Yeah.
And that division is like stacked. But currently, Andrade is like the gatekeeper of the number one contenders.
Yeah.
Like everybody has to have their match with Andrade to get a shot at the title.
Yeah.
So
it's like they're teasing us.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna keep him as that person, at least have him out there with a belt showing that he, like, besides just the fact that he's been putting on great matches, it's like show that he's already the Speed champion, and so that beating him is more meaningful than it just happens every other week.
Right.
No, I think I don't think it'll be Caden Carter. I think it's gonna be.
Won't.
I think it's gonna be Ivy.
I can see that. Ivy would make sense if they actually went that route. Chelsea Green would make sense too. I don't know. Actually,
I don't know.
Never mind. Chelsea does not make sense because they're saving her for the women's mid-card title. So,
yeah.
Just saying.
It kind of makes sense with... Okay, what they need to do with the Speed Championship in order to gain relevance is, I agree with you guys, they need to put that title on TV ASAP. No matches have to be involved with it. It just needs to be worn on TV. It's similar to how the Cruiserweight title was back when 205 was around. It wasn't until that title was actually around the waist. I know he was probably one of the worst. He was one of my favorite, but it wasn't until that title was around the waist of Enzo when he was on the main roster, consistently wearing the belt, consistently promoting about it, that it gained some relevance. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. And, you know, that whole situation is such like a disappointment to look back on because I'll die on my hill, my friends. That cruiserweight title, that cruiserweight belt, one of the best belt designs I've ever had. Say it up front.
They could have dimed down the brightness of the purple
It was perfect to
a
me.
little bit.
It was perfect.
It was a little too bright.
I loved it. It's one of the best titles I ever come up with.
Hey, you better be paying attention to the road, sir. We need your beautiful face for ATFS.
Yeah, we don't need you to
Hey,
get into another
This
wreck.
car drives itself. This car drives itself. I don't have to do shit. So
We
Are
don't
you in
need
a Tesla?
no.
we don't need you to get into another wreck, buddy. We don't need you to walk in here with more broken ribs.
Okay, buddy.
We don't need that,
Hey.
buddy.
You got a football game to play when you get home, by the way, mister.
Yeah, hurry up.
Listen, I've got to be on ATFS. I've got to watch the Razorback game. I've got to watch Colorado. I've got a game to play. What more do you want from me?
Oh, wait,
Everything.
is Arkansas on today?
Yeah, no, there's,
Yes.
there's a lot of games on today. What are you talking about, buddy?
God, okay. I'm not in football mode yet.
There's like
I mean, I am,
15
but I'm
games
not.
on.
Fucking lock in, Jacob.
What are we doing? Anyway, all right, boys, let's get back to it.
Yeah, wrong, terrible show.
Yeah, wrong, terrible show. Let's lock in.
It's all terrible.
We got to lock in. All right, so we've kind of touched on everything except for Gunther Randy. We haven't really dove into that one and just like the storyline building up to it and stuff. I want to say this: I love the fact that we are going back to the Gunther Randy when there was like the legitimate like controversy around it where his shoulders weren't down, because that was obviously just an accident. It happens, and it was an openly acknowledged accident by like Triple H and everything. It's just like, well, we're gonna follow up with them at some point. So I'm glad it finally happened, but it feels also really random because it's like it feels like the same energy as like Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens,
Yep.
But
Well,
at least we followed up to it.
This one at least makes more sense in my head.
There's a storyline.
Yeah, there's a storyline to it, and like after King of the Ring, like Triple H made the comment, he's like, "Hey, Randy, he agrees, referee's decision's final. He's not making a fuss about it or anything." At least this way, it's like, okay, well, he waited until there was a reason to bring it up, to go back for the match. It's like, okay, now that you have the title, it's like you may have got me, but not like 100% clean. So, I mean, it's just based on the mistake. It is nice that we're actually getting something out of it, because I mean, we'll get a good match. I don't know who would have been challenging for this, like Gunther right now, outside of this, because it doesn't really, at least to me, it doesn't really feel like there is a challenger yet.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if Chad wasn't involved with the Wyatt Six, I would love to see Gunther versus Chad.
The problem is they're gonna have to take another, like, if he's done with Wyatt's now, they're gonna have to take another month to start heating Chad back up, because Chad spent the last 2 months getting beat up on.
True. Which I love the Wyatt stuff, by the way. The Wyatt stuff's been so damn good.
And it's obviously too soon for Ilya versus Gunther again.
True.
That to me is a WrestleMania
That-
SummerSlam type match.
I agree 100%. That's WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
That'll be a while still, because we're gonna. I mean, Ilya's gonna have to get his Intercontinental title before he starts going for the World Heavyweight.
Do they pull the trigger and have Gunther versus Ludwig eventually?
I would say yes, but it's going to definitely be on one of these smaller cards.
Yeah,
But I would love to see it. I would love to see that,
I would
because
too, 'cause they're
there's a
both fucking
storyline
phenomenal.
there. Yeah, there's a storyline there. Instead of just throwing him Randy Orton, you're actually throwing him someone that would make sense from a storyline perspective. But you got to build up Ludwig, though. You can't just have him have it randomly happen.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
he'd have to go on a real hot streak and be like a menace to Gunther and the one that's still with him. I can't remember his name.
No, Ludwig is with
Oh,
him.
okay. Wait,
you're
who was the
thinking
one
of
that kicked
Giovanni
out?
Vinci.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My bad. I got
Giovanni Vinci sucks. He's not a very good wrestler whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah. I got him mixed up.
Yeah. The problem is, like, you'd be. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, you'd be pulling Ludwig out of that Intercontinental scene, which right now is just full of, like, just big, beefy men who are just having
Oh,
brutal
baby.
matches, and he fits into that so well, and because he's so good at it. And it's like I'm loving seeing the matches that he's having right now. So I kind of don't want to see him get pulled out of that yet.
Right.
I mean, the obvious, you know, you could always, they can always go back to it and it'll always be a banger match. They can always give us Gunther versus Sheamus again.
True.
I don't think Sheamus wants to do that anymore, though. I think after their last match, he was like, he may have said it jokingly, but he was like, dude, I'm done with that. He's like, that's it. I don't need to face him anymore.
I think he's tired of those chops.
He's getting up there in age too.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I don't really see anybody else because they're not going to pull. They're not going to pull the trigger on Karrion Kross. He's weird right now.
Oh, we got to spend another 2 months with him facing off against New Day.
Yeah, and then the eventual Xavier Rhodes flip.
Can I just tell you guys that I'm not ready for that?
What, Xavier Rhodes?
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
Or Woods, not Rhodes. Why
Yeah,
the fuck am I?
Woods.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
that was his old TNA name.
I gotta be honest with you boys. I'm not ready for that.
I'm ready
Why?
for it, but I don't have any attachment to New Day.
I love the New Day. I love Xavier Woods. I love Kofi Kingston. I love when the three of them originally came together. That's just one of those brotherhoods. It's one of those tag teams that I just don't want to see ever end. I get where it's like, to some people it's like, it's stale. I don't think it's stale from an entertainment standpoint. They're still entertaining. They're just not threats anymore. That's the thing. They're just not threats like they used to be with their historic runs, but they're still entertaining to me. I'm just not ready for it. I'm also not ready for it from like a fourth wall perspective. I understand the fourth wall is just completely shattered these days, but Xavier Woods has his up, down, down, and like so many people are involved with it. And it's like all the people involved with he's got a lot of heels on there, so the fourth wall is very clearly broken. But it's just going to be kind of even weirder. It's like he does this big turn, and then it's like, him and Kofi are playing a game together 3 weeks later.
They've been building this turn for a long time now, or at least it feels like a long time. I was into it at first. I'm less into it now. I'm kind of just ready for it to hit the next step. And I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna actually result in the turn. I think he's gonna go like it's gonna be a turn, and then they're just gonna beat down on Karrion Kross like they've been doing. I'll be back in just a minute. I gotta answer a phone call.
Okay.
I personally have not been a big fan of. I like Odyssey Jones, but he's kind of just been forced into replacement Big E.
Well, I mean, they had to do something with him. He's been on the roster for years, and he's been drafted like 3 times, and he's never done anything.
I like him. He's a big, meaty man. He's very fucking fast in the ring.
Very athletic.
He reminds me of a younger Keith Lee.
Yeah.
But man, give me that Xavier Woods heel turn. But
I'm not ready for it, but I know it's coming.
I want Big E to be somewhat involved in this storyline somehow.
Like a manager or something.
Not really just like a manager, more so just someone who's trying to keep the brotherly bond together.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to play mediator.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
Let me tell you. A heel, Xavier Woods, it's so good. When he was Xavier Rhodes or Consequences Creed,
or
back in
Creed.
back in the TNA days when he was really young, he was a heel for the majority of the time, and it was really juicy.
Yeah. No, I'm a big Xavier guy, so it's going to pain me to see this split finally happen, because Kofi was also one of my favorite mid-carders for the longest time too, before Airborne and when he was like a U.S. title, and unfortunately his botched main event run. Big Kofi guy, love Xavier too, but man, it's going to pain me when that split finally comes.
I think, man. Right now I'm trying to look at the roster on Raw to see who else could possibly challenge for a world title shot. There's not really much.
Uncle Howdy.
There's Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
There's Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. There's a lot of Brawns.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a Otis, my brother.
I'd love Otis.
Give me my brother.
I would love to see Otis, but I know we already touched on it, and it's got to get built up. I would really love to see Chad get a chance at a title, man. Like really dial into the Perk Angle, you know what I mean, version of him, right? Like just dial into that, man. I think it'd be epic. I will also say this. I know I joked, said Uncle Howdy. I want the record to be known right now. I never want to see this faction win a title unless it's like, Jacob, do you remember that WWE 2K pitch for stable I gave you?
Yeah.
I would love to see that become like the Wyatt Six. Would that not be fucking epic? All right, so the pitch the pitch that I gave him for WWE 2K stable was a stable of champion slayers, where all they do is they go after what they deem unfit champions, beat them, feud with them, take the title from them, but then literally surrender the title because they don't want to be a champion. They don't need to be a champion, but they're just taking out the unfit champions. That would be sick for the Wyatt Six. Because there's one of the things that I hated with The Fiend is them giving him a title.
Yep.
Like I don't think that's a character that needs a title. And same thing with
title design though. That design.
The design was sick.
Pretty sick.
You know, at least they did something special for him. And then fuck the Goldberg thing. That was ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
And fuck the red chained Hell in the Cell that ended in a DQ.
Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know, those kind of characters, man, they just don't need titles. I mean, Undertaker, he never really needed titles. Even he talks about that his character didn't need titles. You know, they just gave it to him.
He looked fucking good with that world title on.
Oh yeah, no, okay. He looked great with the World Heavyweight Championship. That looked awesome. But it's like
Big Goldie looked phenomenal on his waist.
It did, but it just doesn't fit the character though. Besides it looking good. So it's like that's how I feel about the Wyatt Six. I don't want to see them win titles. So it's like anyone that says, "Oh man, give the Wyatt Six a run at some point down the line." No, don't give them a run. If you want, like, apparently, they're going off the approach of attacking, Chad Gable because he stopped saying thank you or whatever. He stopped being thankful or however they worded it. Just take that same mentality for any like heel champion, bruh, and just create this champion slayer stable. That would be sick.
I think they already fucked up with Uncle Howdy.
I disagree, man. I think they're killing it.
I think they fucked up mainly because this past, what was it, Monday Night Raw? He was taking bumps. And he was taking them pretty well, too.
Oh, you wish that he would have just been a menace, just destroyed.
Yes.
That's fair.
If they're trying to build something upon the legacy of Bray Wyatt, when Bray Wyatt was in Fiend mode, he was like a Sting or an Ultimate Warrior where nothing really phased him at all.
That's fair. Because when you have that sort of persona, you got to protect it. Because it was the same thing with the Demon for so long with Finn, that the Demon was undefeated for the longest time. And then
they keep bringing it back and he keeps losing as the Demon, which...
Yeah. Like, I can see what you're saying. I don't think they've failed him, but I do see what you're saying. I get your point.
It peels the cover off of the character way too soon.
Right.
Also, I feel as though the Uncle Howdy mask changes every time he's on screen. So, like it looks more and more like from Spirit Halloween as we go.
Wow. Just let it ride, brother. Let it ride.
I guess.
But no, in terms of like world title stuff, like there's really no like go ahead and circling back to the Randy Orton thing. I mean, it made the most sense. You know what I mean? Because it's like, who else can you throw at him right now after winning it? I mean, in theory, could you throw him Damian Priest? Yeah, but then you have a better storyline going on with the Judgment Day falling apart. And you have a money match of Damian Finn coming up. You know what I mean?
Santos Escobar.
Throw him at Gunther?
Yeah.
No. Even Shane says no. Shane coming out of the darkness down there.
Bro, you could throw anybody at Gunther and he would make them a superstar.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but like for his
But
first
Santos
match,
Escobar is one of the better wrestlers on the Monday Night Raw roster.
look, I'm not denying his wrestling ability. I'm just saying it from like a character standpoint. You don't throw Santos Escobar at Gunther and be like, "Here's your first championship match."
Oh, that's what I came into.
You know what's funny? On 2K on 2K24, if you just let the universe mode simulate, Santos Escobar becomes a world champion within like the first few months.
Well, that's why it's 2K.
Give me Santos. You know what? Just fuck it. Throw everybody out the window. Just give my brother a title shot. Give
Otis the shot.
Give him his title shot that he deserved from the get-go because they fucking ruined his Money in the Bank shit.
That's so stupid. What was I can't remember. Was him winning it an accident?
No, it was
Because
just
like,
all
that
for the
was that
meme.
was the COVID Money in the Bank match, right? At the headquarters.
Yeah, that was at WWE headquarters,
Yeah.
which was I missed those types of matches, to be honest. That was the best part about the COVID era.
Really weird
Was
matches.
those types of matches.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad that we're past them. You know, I like the matches we have now, but those cinematic matches were pretty sick too.
Yes.
Don't care what you say. AJ and
The Undertaker
AJ and
versus
Undertaker
AJ.
it was awesome.
Yes.
Cinema.
Yep.
But yeah, John, you walked into Santos Escobar going up against Gunther. Welcome back.
Who else could they get though? I mean, one of the Brawns already has a title. The other Braun hasn't been seen on the roster in a long time. And then the other Braun is in this weird fluctuation of, is he good? Is he main event quality? Or is he just shit that gets thrown at somebody and is a jobber?
Well,
It's up for you to decide who's who, by the way.
Well, okay, well, hold on. The two Brawns fought on Monday. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but...
And it was actually
Listen.
a banger match and a car almost exploded. Did you see that clip?
I don't know, man. I did.
Okay. Like I was messaging John. I was like, man, the way they went to commercial very quickly, I was like, I think they were trying to prevent a car fire. As soon as I saw like the spark of the light inside the hood and then just smoke coming out from the car, and they just immediately shot to commercial, I'm like, I think they're trying to prevent a car fire from happening.
Go ahead.
I know
Dominic.
it's not.
Sorry.
I mean, that'd be interesting. But I think something that probably would never happen, and I know he just won a title, and he's talking about that if he was to ever lose it, he'd probably retire. But Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, if he was to ever come back to the WWE from AEW, I think he would be a great Gunther matchup.
Oh my God, I know. From just like a technical wrestling standpoint, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back.
Unfortunately, I don't think so either.
He is very happy in AEW currently.
Yeah. And
All of his friends are there from ROH. He obviously has the world title. Yeah, I don't see it, and he's making buku's amount of money right now.
Right.
And yeah, he's already come out and said that if he loses the title, that his full-time capacity wrestling is pretty much over.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy to think that I have watched Bryan Danielson since his early days in ROH to now eventually finally being able to retire from full time.
Yeah, he can go back to kind of just picking his dream matches he wants to have, or if something goes wrong, there's always the emergency Bryan Danielson button.
True. That's true.
Go back to like challengers for Gunther. It wouldn't be necessarily anytime soon within the next few months or that. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but like, I mean, the Bronson Reed that showed up for the past 3 weeks. Hey, he's had decent matches. His problem has been his main problem has been for the past like year, really, he's kind of just been, we want to have a triple threat for the Intercontinental or something, but we need someone to pin because we don't want to pin the other two guys.
And that's exactly why I'm not sold on him, because he's that scapegoat.
True. I'm liking. I mean, he doesn't have a character really yet, but I'm liking just aggressive. I'm going to make a statement for myself,
Yeah.
or it's like I'm gonna make you realize that you got to do something with me. Which, like I said, I want it to play out a little bit. But if they actually roll with it, give him a character to go along with it, and like put him in some matches that are believable, then I could see him at least being like thrown to Gunther at a B show.
Right. I can actually agree to that. Where like I think he's going to get thrown to Gunther at like a smaller show coming up. Who knows? Maybe even Bad Blood. With the run that he's been on recently, they're clearly building him. So maybe Bad Blood. It could be Gunther and Bronson Reed. Go ahead and let that sink in, Jacob. Could be your future.
Well, you got to think. Currently, Bronson Reed's in the. He's got to do his Intercontinental qualifying match.
That's fair.
Which, I mean, just speaking on that, I realistically, I think there's only two people that would come through that, or at least in my opinion, two people that would end up going against, like going for the belt and coming out of that Fatal 4-Way as winners. And currently it'd be Bronson Reed or Jey Uso.
Oh yeah.
What do you got over there?
I have an idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
So years ago,
Okay.
one of my all-time favorite, because Survivor Series is my favorite PLE.
Oh, okay.
I love the brand versus brand. I love just the crossing of the streams, the bragging rights, all of that. I love the invasion angles as well.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Survivor Series was when NXT invaded WWE, the main roster, when it was the black and gold brand with Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and Triple H leading the way. And they invaded Survivor Series and took home the crown. They swept that year.
I remember that.
Give me that this year, and give me Gunther versus Oba.
I saw where you're going with it, and here's my question. How soon are you wanting Gunther to lose that title? Because when Obafemi comes up,
that man,
he's gonna go on it. There's gonna be Gunther going on his main event run, and Obafemi's gonna be mirroring his path.
That he has in that entrance, he is world champion quality.
Honestly, when he shows up, he could just go straight into the world title scene.
Oh, yeah,
I would not be surprised if he did.
I wouldn't be either. Like he immediately shows up, gets Money in the Bank or gets Royal Rumble, and just goes from there.
He's not green. He's good on the mic. He's got the charisma. He's got the endurance to go for long matches. He's a pretty safe worker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would love to see NXT get involved with Survivor Series again.
But the problem is, and this just might be personal bias, but that roster that they had that year, leagues above this roster. They had Undisputed Era. They had Keith Lee. They had all of these top tier talents that they actually just completely wasted when they got to the main roster, and then they all got shipped away to AEW.
I was gonna say it's all in AEW names right there for the most part.
Yep. Drop the ball on that one.
Because I mean, okay, you got Obafemi, you got Trick Williams, you got Tony D'Angelo, you got the what is it, Chase U. But you don't. Those names just don't ring nearly as much.
Well, what I
know a name that does though.
Like
what?
I know a name that does though. Say his name. I know TNA talent, but come on now.
Hold on.
Say his name and he appears.
One thing I'll say is, one thing I kind of wish they did, and it kind of builds off of, I think what you were saying, Alex, where like NXT gets more involvement in it. I wish some of these like PLEs, like Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and that. I wish there was more like presence of NXT, not as like, oh, we're calling up someone to the main roster, more as we just have a deal where a portion of the members are going to be from NXT. That way they get showcased on the main roster. It's very clear if people are like attaching to them or if they're getting over, and it gives them time so we don't have issues like with like Carmelo Hayes, for example, comes up to the main roster, has floundered.
Yeah.
It's like give them some time to work with the main roster some, and see how people react to him outside of the NXT environment.
It's unfortunate that Carmelo Hayes has been kind of a bust so far, but then again, they haven't
True.
really been using him well at all.
No.
They've him being paired with Andrade was a good idea because then he gets someone real experienced to work with for a series of matches.
Yeah, I think the pairing with Andrade was good. I think what hindered him was his first night on the main roster. They threw him in the ring with Cody Rhodes. Like, you throw him in the ring with Cody Rhodes, the biggest babyface WWE has seen in years, maybe since John Cena.
Yeah.
And then expect him to immediately turn heel, like a hard heel against Andrade. Like, I don't know. I think that was a bad precedence. Now, if they would have eased him in immediately with Andrade and kind of built it from there, then I think it'd be better off. But first night, right off the rip with Cody Rhodes, I think that kind of set him up for failure.
Because didn't in that match too, I mentioned this earlier, didn't like Cody like take a nasty bump in that match that like it's like, dude, did he get hurt? Is he good?
Yeah.
I think it was off like a Cody Cutter, which still I hate Cody Cutter anyway. I genuinely fucking hate Cody Cutter.
I hate the fact that Cody Rhodes has, his finisher. And the Crossroads is the same finisher that nearly everybody and their damn mother has anymore nowadays. I hate Crossroads. I hate Cody's entire arsenal that he has. I don't like Cody Rhodes, guys.
I didn't notice, honestly.
I like most everything Cody Rhodes does in the ring. His series of signatures and finishers though. It's like I think I said it last time we did an episode. I wish some people's signature moves would actually like finish matches every now and then.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like you hit it and go for a pin. Nobody is expecting that to be the end of a match.
Yep.
It's like throw us for a loop every now and then. But yeah. I also don't really like the Cody Cutter because it is such a slow setup that it never looks good.
No, it very rarely does. I mean, like, at this point, just give him the RKO. I'll go ahead and say it. Just give him the RKO. Give him the twist of fate. I don't give a shit. Just let him fucking do it. I'm done with it. I don't fucking care.
I'm still on the Survivor Series kick, and I'm just looking at these possible matches with champion versus champion. LA Knight versus Braun Breaker. Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Liv and Nia is probably going to be a squash match. I don't know who Andrade is going to face. The best part about
they'll probably
the
just put him against
invasion,
Santos
though,
Escobar again.
the best part about the NXT invasion, though, was all of the NXT champions faced all the main roster champions, too.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good match. Man, hold on. You guys discuss while I look up that match card again.
Well, let me go over some stuff real quick that Ricky sent me because he knew he wasn't going to be on the show. He's got to referee a football game tonight. And then once you look that up, I'd say we can probably get to our actual bash picks and look to kind of wind down the show. So what Ricky sent me earlier, his thoughts on stuff for the bash show. For the World Heavyweight Championship, he said this one is a no-brainer. They are not letting Gunther lose short of him having AIDS or steroid use. This, to me, does not make sense at all. Which we kind of touched on about it making sense, not making sense, whatever the case is. And it's like, at least they followed up on something. Like what John said, this makes more sense than the Cody Kevin thing. because at least they're following up on something.
Yeah, follows up on it, and it's just another big win for Gunther.
Yep. Priest and Rhea and Liv and Dom, in my opinion, it makes no sense for Priest and Rhea to win this match. If Vince were in charge, he would pull the trigger. Dom and Liv go over. I do agree. It doesn't make sense for Damian and Rhea to win.
I mean,
Do what?
If Damian and Rhea won, it's like the feud's over.
Exactly. What'd you say, Shane?
Said I think they will. I mean, I'll get more into reason why once we go over predictions, but
Okay, all right. Next, we got the strap match. He said Punk does not lose back-to-back single matches, going to set up a trilogy. I think we can literally all agree to that. You got to have the trilogy.
You gotta think though. Punk in this new age, he's just happy to be there.
That is true. He is just having a good time.
He's just happy to be there. Every promo he's cut has been, "I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in insert city name." So yeah, I may have lost my match, but at least I'm here.
Yeah, basically.
In front of you guys.
he's having fun. He's having fun going live on Instagram while he's under the ring.
That was great. That was fantastic. Next, he had Jade Cargill and Bianca versus Unholy Union. He says Unholy Union retains. This could be a good spot for either Cargill or Belair to turn heel. I'm hoping it's Belair because she completely sucks as a babyface, and I don't buy her character or wrestling at all. John, would you like to comment on that?
We can move on from that.
The last thing was Undisputed WWE Championship. He said, once more, we are bored with two baby faces and once again a pointless Cody Rhodes championship run. It's boring, 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 and Cody retains.
Very true.
Look, listen.
Cody, we can blame The Rock.
Facts. Like, look, Cody's storylines, they're not going to be good until his feud with the Bloodline is officially done and moved on. Once him and like Roman have another match, him and Rock have their match, whatever, and we're done with it, that's when I feel like his reign can really take off and really come into his own, because everything's still too tied to the Bloodline storyline. That's just my take. So maybe by after WrestleMania next year, we can really start to see a really amazing Cody Rhodes run.
The problem is Cody Rhodes is like his storylines are we can't insert you into Bloodline yet. So here's your challenger for this month, which is kind of a shame. The only saving grace with it is the matches for the most part have all been really good.
That's the one plus, is they have been entertaining matches.
It's like, yeah, your storylines may not be great, but at least you're putting on really good matches constantly.
Yeah.
Because he's on every PLE.
Yeah. I'm just ready for the Bloodline portion of his story to be over. While it's amazing, and it's just all like, oh, I don't want it to end. I do want it to end because I want his championship reign to mean something more. I want it to actually feel like it has stakes. Because like I said, there's no stakes. He's not going to lose. It's not even going to be a thought of losing until someone else like Roman or Rock comes in the picture. But then even then we can look at it from objectively and say, yeah, he's still not going to lose because Rock's a Hollywood guy. He's not going to win a title, because he's not going to do a run like he did when he won the title against Punk and hold it for 3 months. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen in today's day and age. So it's like, when they finally come to blow, who's going to win. Roman and Cody. I don't see Roman going over.
We can argue about The Rock beating Cody later.
That's true. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Jacob, what'd you look up?
Oh, I looked up the Survivor Series 2019 match card, but I don't really care about it anymore.
All right, we're moving on then. Moving on.
Okay. What they really need to do because I'm starting to get personally tired of the Bloodline bleeding through to every other storyline, it seems, or major storyline.
Yeah.
What they really need to do now that Roman is back, Bloodline needs to stay Bloodline. They need to stay in their own little world.
Their own circle.
Everybody else that has been involved, Cody, Randy, Kevin, all of them need to be able to go do their own thing. Randy's being able to now, finally.
Yeah.
I think the side characters that have been in all of this are free to go. I think it just needs to strictly be Bloodline 1.0 versus Bloodline 2.0. Nobody else at all.
Yeah. also going to be the question of when we're going to pick the Bloodline story back up, because Roman was advertised for a few more SmackDowns, and they pulled him off the card after his uncle passed. So now, which also rest in peace to that. So it's like, when is Roman going to come back into play?
It'll be probably after this pay-per-view. They probably will not have a match at
Bad Blood,
a Bloodline match at Bad Blood, but it'll more
they might
than
as
likely
well.
be
I mean, come
Survivor
on,
Series.
Bad Blood, Bloodline, let's go.
If they do have a match at Bad Blood, it'll end up being probably a tag match between 2 of 2.0 and 2 of 1.0.
Yeah.
It'll be. I think if they do like a tag match or something there, or if they do a match between the two versions of Bloodline, I don't think Roman's in it.
No, I don't think Roman's in it, and I don't think Jacob's in it.
Yeah, Roman wouldn't be in it. Jacob wouldn't be in it. It's just.
I think it would be the Tongans and
Usos?
probably the Tongans versus either Jay and Sammy, or Jay and if Jimmy comes back.
I'd say Jay and Sammy, because I think Jimmy's going to be later on, because Sammy and Jay are talking about going on a tag run.
Yeah, that was teased on the show. So,
are we under the idea though that, or maybe this is just my fantasy booking? Hopefully, Survivor Series rolls around and it's Bloodline War Game.
Oh, it is going to be Bloodline War.
Oh
Games.
yeah, it's Bloodline
I'm
War Games.
certain of that.
Yeah.
And also, I think we're still gonna see one more guy make his debut. I've heard rumors this guy's already signed his WWE contract. They're just finding a way to get him in there, and that's Zilla Fatu.
I have seen that too.
So I look to see him make his debut anywhere between after Bash in Berlin and before Bad Blood, or he's gonna make his debut at Bad Blood.
Jacob's thinking.
He's counting all the members of the Bloodline.
I don't know how that would work, because if it truly is War Games, 2.0 has 5 members, correct? We have Solo, we have the Tongans, we have Jacob, and then Zilla. 1.0 has Roman, the Usos, Sammy.
Cody.
Well, they're not going to let Tongaloa in the match.
You don't think so?
He'll be there, but he's the guy to stand on. He's the guy to stand on the outside while the other people wrestle.
Facts, bro.
That's so unfortunate, because he was such a good wrestler in New Japan.
Dude,
I think he will. I think you're gonna have Jimmy J, Roman, Cody, and Sammy.
I don't think you put Cody in.
I think it strictly stays Bloodline. It needs to stay Bloodline 1.0 and 2.0 and keep everybody else away. This needs to be a civil war that has no outsider at all.
Well, the thing is, regardless of who ends up winning that War Games match, The Rock comes out afterwards to stand over top of them anyway.
True. But who's going to be the 5th member for 1.0?
Well, I've heard that you could see someone betray Solo. So I'm guessing
it's not going to be Jacob.
No, it's not going to be Jacob, and it's going to have to be one of the Tongans, because Zilla has already said that in an interview he much rather be on Jacob's side than on Roman's side, because him and Jacob were a tag team in the indie scene. So you're going to see possibly one of the Tongans turn on Solo and go with Roman.
But that would still make the numbers uneven. There's 9 total Pacific Islanders in this fucking feud.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and just.
We need one more.
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just plant the seeds.
With the Rock, you would even that out.
They ain't throwing the Rock. Rock is not in War Games.
He'll come out afterwards to try to stand over top of whoever actually wins the match.
All right, so
there's no way his pretty face is gonna be in a War Games match.
Oh, sure it will. Come on now. No, look, I see the possibility of Rock being involved, okay? But I think it'd be a good storyline to have The Rock involved for obvious reasons. But I also think it'd be a better storyline for The Rock to come out afterwards. And for that last member, look, I'm going to go ahead and say it to Jacob's dismay especially. It's going to be Cody Rhodes, okay? It's going to be Cody Rhodes. It's going to be like a John and Rock situation of where they're coming together to face a greater evil, Okay. And this greater evil being the bloodline. And that's going to further help not only set up Roman Rock, but it's also going to further help set up Rock Cody, because Rock's going to beat the fuck out of everyone. So it's like you're killing two birds with one stone. Like, it's going to be a respect level of Jay's there and Sammy's there. And it's like, hey, me and Roman, we may not be friends on screen, but we at least respect each other to some capacity. So it's going to be Cody. And I could also see Cody doing double duty that night and have a championship match and being part of War Games. I can see him doing both.
So you're under the assumption, are we all under the assumption that 2.0 Bloodline has to win War Games in order to stay relevant?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
and that's where the Rock comes
2.0
in.
Yeah, I think 2.0 does it, and then Rock comes out to like show himself being the puppet master behind the scenes.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he lays the fucking smackdown to Roman and Cody and anyone else who may still be left in there. I could see it being just Roman and Cody left on their side. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Cody's going to be the fifth member. I mean, it just makes too much sense from a storyline perspective. You know, because you're killing two birds with one stone. You're further fueling both feuds.
Also,
God,
if
I
that
hope
is
not.
if that is the return of The Rock this year, he did say like him coming back, one to be there for Bloodline 2.0 and also beat down Cody, because
Yep.
when he left, he did say, "When I come back, I'm coming for you, Cody."
Yeah. So I'm telling you, Cody being the fifth member makes perfect sense.
Okay, hear me out. Okay. It may make sense, but they could always pull Seth into the match.
I Seth's my guy. I would love to see Roman and Seth be the John and Rock situation coming together to face a greater evil, but it makes more sense for Cody.
We're gonna have Seth's gonna
Actually-
be busy with Punk.
That's
I
true.
mean,
He's gonna
yeah,
be tied
I
up in
mean-
that.
I think if he isn't, though, I think honestly you plug Seth in instead of Cody, right? The 2.0 wins, right? Rock comes out, beats everybody up in 1.0, and then Cody comes out, beats up on The Rock for beating up on his guys. Boom. There's his fucking storyline.
Okay, that's a good idea too. I like the Cody one being as the fifth member more, but they're both very good ideas for me. I like both. I think both make sense.
If you take Shane's idea, then Cody doesn't take an L.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true too.
I mean, then again, though, Cody only takes like 2 L's a year.
Yeah,
So
he just took one.
if you're gonna give him one, why not do it at what is gonna arguably be one of the bigger storyline events of the year?
I mean, and I think if you do that, you can't let Cody be the one that gets pinned or submitted at War Games. It can't be.
Right.
I would.
I
don't know.
don't think they're gonna
Because if-
throw
because
Cody
if
into
not-
War Games with the potential, because it's a pretty brutal match, and I don't think they throw him in there with the higher potential of getting injured.
No, if anything, I think he'll be a rundown because he'll have his own match that night,
Yeah.
and he'll
and-
try to run interference.
And that's what made me think of it is that when Alex said that he could see him doing double duty. I mean, I can too, but I totally forgot about Seth Rollins. So plug him in there as the fifth.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Reunion of the Shield.
Exactly.
Would love
and that's
it.
like another brotherhood, right? It ties in just like Sammy, right? Sammy became like another brother of the family. That's how he was an honorary member of the bloodline.
Yeah.
So there's your tie-ins there, right? And then you have The Rock coming in after the match. Then you have Cody making that first step in setting up that storyline, because really The Rock's already set it up like what John said with him saying that he's going to come for Cody when he comes back. It's literally an automatic tie-in for everything.
Yeah.
And on the bright side, you don't have your champion taking an L, diminishing his run even more than what some already think it has been.
Yeah. And that's fair. I think if whether we have Seth be the fifth or Cody as the fifth, I think we're going to be eaten, right? Like, I think they're both very good ideas for different reasons.
You said, did Rick give you his predictions?
Yeah. We need to get to predictions because you're tracking them for us, aren't you?
Correct. I'm drawing out the graph now.
Okay. All right. Well, let me
I
know
think
when you're
once
ready.
again I'll probably be throwing some wild cards out there so that we get a little bit of variety, because otherwise I think this one everybody's gonna just about have the
Probably.
same opinions.
Let me know when you're ready,
I
Jacob.
mean, just know I'm throwing
You
out
can go
there.
ahead.
Just know I'm throwing out there what I want to see, not what I think's going to happen.
Okay, so your official picks will be what you want.
Correct.
All
What
right.
I want to see, not what I think will happen.
Jacob, I went undefeated with the last one, right?
Uh,
I can't believe I let you guys talk me into picking solo last time.
you and Steve went undefeated.
Okay, all right.
Currently, we can reiterate the standings here for people. Alex and Steve are 7-0. Ricky and Tyler are 5-2. And me, John, and Shane are all 4-3.
Because Ricky can vouch for me. I literally gave him my winners before we started, because it was just me and him in the call at the time watching it, and I got every single one of them right. I called it before each match, so I'm technically 7-0 on what I thought was going to happen, but I go by what I want.
Yeah, your official predictions cucked you. Sorry, buddy. Also, Jacob, after the show, can you please message in the Discord and get the other guys' picks, Tyler and Steve?
Yes, I can.
All right, so let's start going through it, boys. Unholy Union and Bianca and Jade for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
I'm gonna say Bianca and Jade.
I agree.
As much as this year they are going to split up to lead up to potentially a WrestleMania match between the two of them, I don't think it's happening yet.
Yeah, I think, Unholy Union won just to appease the, Scottish crowd.
Had to have
and
someone win.
Bianca and Jade need these titles to stay relevant. So I'm picking Bianca and Jade, even though I really can't stand either of them.
I can
Listen,
see
I'm gonna-
Unholy Union winning, but I'm going to lock in Bianca and Jade. Ricky locked in Unholy.
I'm gonna go Jade and Bianca as well. But you're right. At first, I really wasn't a fan of them holding the titles. But as I've watched them wrestle, I've become great fans of them. But I agree, Bianca and Jade will win it.
All right, next up, I'm going off Ricky's list here. So next up is Priest and Rhea and Liv and Dom. He said Dom and Liv go over. I agree. Dom and Liv go over.
Yeah, Liv and Dom. I feel like they have to get the win here.
Yeah, new Judgment Day and
Yeah.
everything. Finn's gonna probably be involved, whole 9 yards. Like, they gotta win.
Yeah,
And it's got to be
gonna-
a not clean win to further keep the Terror Twins relevant. If it's clean,
Yeah.
then what's the point of it? What's the point of it at that?
It's gonna be a numbers game.
Yeah.
If the end goal is Rhea Morgan again for the title,
Yeah.
I think Damien and Rhea have to win this. So I'm going Damien and Rhea.
Okay.
I think the big moment from this feud that everybody's waiting to see is everybody's waiting to see Rhea, Riptide, Dominic.
True.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants to see, which I can very easily see that happening. Her going for the pin on him,
Yeah.
and Finn or Carlito or somebody's going to be down there, distract the ref, pull them off, stop the count to lead to another match down the line. Maybe they split apart for a little while and then come back together.
Yeah, what I want to see is Rhea and Priest win. What's gonna happen is Liv and Dom. So you can officially put me down for Rhea and Priest, but I just know Liv and Dom's gonna win it, and they're gonna win it by, the Judgment Day helping them. So
True. All right, next up, strap match, Punk and McIntyre. Punk. I think we can all agree to that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
McIntyre got the win at SummerSlam, so Punk needs to win here to keep the rivalry hot.
Yep.
Drew.
What? Buddy, you're joking. Is this just wishful thinking, or is this is what you actually think is going to happen?
Who?
I'm saying Drew.
Oh. What?
Jacob's delayed what?
I already wrote Punk down for you.
No, I'm
He's going to be the weird
realistically the winner of this match should be Punk, and I should be saying Punk. I think they eventually, they're gonna want to build to a third match with Drew and Punk because this rivalry is really good. The problem I have with it is it's been really good, but it's been the same, like essentially the same promo for the past 3 weeks, and they've kind of said the same thing to each. They've almost run out of things to say to each other. So Drew could win here, split Punk off to go after Seth for a little while, and then bring all three of them together.
Right.
That's what I would want to happen. So I'm
Okay.
going Drew.
Okay.
Did Ricky pick Punk?
Yes, he picked Punk.
Okay, he's not delusional then.
Wow.
Hey, like I said, I'm gonna throw a couple, or it's like every now and then or probably every one of these we do, I'll have one just like out of left field pick.
That was solo for some of us.
Right. Is that Ricky that just joined?
That is the
Yes,
Rick Meister.
I am here. I'm leaving Warren. I don't have much signal left, but I thought I'd just hop in for a minute and
Yeah, we're actually
until I run out.
going
minutes.
through our official picks.
There you go.
So-
There you go. Well, hey, Arkansas is up 35-0, and North Dakota State's up 10-7. So I think football is going to be good this year, boys. Well, with the exception of Arkansas football, we're going to suck anyways. But I'm just saying Pittman's not going to take his vacation home
Yeah, he
just
will.
yet.
Yeah, he
Give him
will.
a couple more weeks.
Yeah, he will. Just wait.
I said in a couple more weeks.
And for the time being, I'm able to keep the Ohio fuck in Ohio.
I know this isn't wrestling at all, but the number 24 team in the country is tied currently right now with an FCS team.
I saw. Yeah, I saw.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So the last ones that we've got are the two other championships. So first up, world heavyweight. It's Gunther. This is easy. This is straightforward.
Yeah, in front of the Berlin crowd, there's no way. It's too early.
No.
He's
Yeah.
going to go on a long
Gunther.
title run,
Yeah,
like he
Gunther.
always has.
Gunther, move
I
on.
threw you for a loop on the last one, not this one. Gunther.
Yeah, it's Gunther. I think everyone here can agree to that. That's easy.
You know what? I think Gunther's gonna win, but put me down for Randy.
Are you just trying to be different? Are you just like John right now and you're trying to be different?
Yep.
Okay.
He did it with the last pick, so I'm gonna do it with this pick.
All right, matching energy. I respect that. I
Yep,
respect that.
We're gonna call it John picking.
Hey, you got to make it a little interesting on these. Otherwise it's gonna be a little boring with all of us having the same 5
Exactly.
picks.
That's fair.
Exactly.
That's fair.
And plus, I think if Randy does win the belt, he'll turn heel again, and we'll see the Legend Killer come out. Because I would love to see him punch somebody in the face.
True. I'm hoping
Cody.
Legend. I want to see that feud.
Thing is, he could try to act heel. Nobody's gonna boo him.
Randy's just so over.
Yeah, he
It's
is.
just
He's
he can
always been so over.
he can do whatever he wants to, how he wants to, and people are gonna cheer him for it.
Do we even need to talk about the last one? I mean, just
We really don't.
it's just Cody.
I've
Cody
got no
across-
surprises on this one.
Yeah, Cody
Yeah,
across the
I'm-
board. Come on.
I'm not bold enough to fucking
Yeah.
do that one.
Cody
Sorry.
across the
I did
board.
it. I did it last time. I'm not doing it this time.
Yeah.
Same.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Cody across the board. That's easy.
This is
God,
Man.
you guys are gonna look so foolish if Drew wins.
Oh, you stop. You stop.
wrestling logic deems it that Drew is not going to win because I have to
Hey.
build heat to the third match, and Drew
That's
won
the-
at SummerSlam.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You're assuming that the rivalry continues here. No. We were about to move into the Punk Seth route when McIntyre came down to interrupt him. So we're gonna go 2/3 the way with one rivalry, 2/3 the way with the other, and then bring them together.
It's gonna end up in another fucking triple threat match. It's gonna happen probably at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble.
Facts. I just now saw that speed tournament thing, John.
Oh yeah,
Same.
I meant to mention it earlier when I put it in there, but I
Yeah.
forgot.
Just now saw it.
Out of that bracket, it'll probably be Naomi.
That was my first thought too. Was Naomi that or Lyra?
Lyra is the initial. kick I get from that.
I think it's Naomi because I think we consistently see her teaming up with Jade and Bianca, and I don't think you can leave her out without some kind of title. And unfortunately,
Yeah, but she won't even wear the title on TV, so what does it matter?
They got to
I mean,
bring the titles on TV, man.
I was gonna say maybe with the introduction of the women's one, they'll actually start bringing it out.
Yeah,
They got to bring
true.
both of them out.
Because I mean, I've always been a person that I think we should bring back some kind of mid card titles for the women. Something. Like, I don't care if it's a women's U.S. title. I don't care if you bring back a Divas title. I don't care. Bring back some kind of mid card title for the women.
You know what the weird thing is with the women's division as well? They got the tag belts, which kind of mean nothing right now. But that's all they really have besides 2 women's championships. Why are there so many trios forming?
Yeah, I know.
Unless they're gonna try to delve into the trios tag division.
God, I hope not.
That would be bad.
Hey, imagine this.
I think the trios divisions only work in the indies and AEW. It would not work in WWE. There's not enough time.
Imagine this. Jade and Bianca win here. They got Naomi come up to celebrate with them. They introduce a belt to her. And then they just become the trios.
God, I hope not. I hope they don't.
I don't want that to happen, but
he's just pitching the idea.
What's the point of all these trios happening right now?
Right.
They can't introduce the trios belt until the women's intercontinental or United States or whatever they're going to call it is introduced.
I think it's more about power groups than it is just trios. And I think when you look at the history of WWE, especially over the years, you got Shield, the Hurt Business, which I thought they pulled the Hurt Business a little too early because I thought it could have been much better than what it was. You have several of these power groups that come in, and the whole point of power groups is who can take over and build WWE even more than what it's already built.
Yeah.
And when you have something right now that's basically a boring product, because let's just face it, it's boring. It's not that great right now. We have great matches. I'm not going to say that we don't have great matches, but the overall storylines right now are pretty boring. So it's basically trying to see what's going to get a good pop from the crowd. That's basically what it's for.
God. John, I don't like you right now. Because the more that I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more I could see a trios thing coming into WWE.
I realistically, I don't think it's. I
don't think it is happening. Either, but I could see it.
But I mean, it could happen. They would almost do it just on the fact of, well, we have too many people for a tag division right now. Let's just put another belt in there, and then we can put more people into it.
They don't even use the tag division to begin with.
They
don't even use the women's world champions to begin with. They don't use their champions unless you are either Cody Rhodes or Gunther. Then you are guaranteed a title match at a PLE. Every other champions, you're not guaranteed because you don't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things.
I legitimately was about to ask who was the other champion besides Nia, and I forgot it was Liv Morgan.
Yep.
There you go.
Why is she still the champion?
Nia just won the title and she is not having a match.
Good. I hate that Nia got a championship. I think I was talking to Alex, or maybe it was you during the previous PLE.
Yep.
She is one of the worst wrestlers there are out there. And she can't cut a promo. It's literally what Ricky thinks of Bianca Belair, but at least Bianca Belair has some kind of talent in the ring. She may not be the best, but literally Nia Jax, she is. I think she's just terrible. I'm sure she's a great person, but
I agree with you. I think Nia has gotten slightly better and more safer to work with than what she was in her first run, but the fact of the matter is she just won a title. She just won one of the main women's titles. And she's not having a defense at a PLE right after that win.
Facts.
Well, I think the biggest reason why you're not seeing a championship match with Liv right now is because the mixed tag team match they're going to have anyways. And I think that's the
That's
only reason
fine.
why she's not going to be
They're
watching. I
working
mean, she's
towards
still having a
her
match,
and Rio.
but
Nobody else needs to go after that title.
exactly, because right now it's Rhea, then it's nobody else. I mean, it's just that much of a gap right now as far as talent wise goes.
But
Yeah,
why? Okay.
Problem is the live Rhea feud and everything right now doesn't need the title.
Exactly.
It
It's good
doesn't.
without
It doesn't
the title.
need the title. The Liv has had this title for what, a couple months now, and it's like, what is? Why? She hasn't done any. What she faced Selena Vega,
Yeah, I think
and
she's
then
had what 2 title defenses in this time
It's
period.
because they don't. It's the same
they don't
thing that I
have.
said
They don't
with
have a
Alex
challenger
earlier.
for.
It's the same thing I said with Alex earlier. When Bailey had the title, they never used her. You never saw her on posters. You never saw her defending the title whatsoever.
True.
They're doing the same thing with Liv, and unfortunately, I think Nia is going to fall victim to that too.
I will say I'm the contrary one here. I've been enjoying the Nia stuff lately.
Oh.
Not because of Nia necessarily, because of everything surrounding her.
Okay,
It's made it entertaining. I don't think she's gonna have a tremendously long run,
Yeah.
but it was
I don't
kind
think so either.
of. I think they wanted her to have. They wanted to give her something. They weren't doing anything with Bailey. Unfortunately, with Bailey, I'm not a huge Bailey fan, but she got kind of done dirty with her title reign.
She did.
And they couldn't really have. I think they put themselves into a bit of a conundrum when it came to the king and queen of the ring. They couldn't have superstars win those and then lose their opportunity. Because then what would be the point of winning? It just makes it seem like it's not worth winning at that point.
I think they could have. They on the women's side, if Lyra would have won Queen of the Ring and went off against Bailey, I think she could have lost. But I don't think Nia. There was no chance Nia was losing.
Yeah.
The thing is with
Well,
Nia,
I will say this.
The thing is with Nia, I agree with Jacob. She's gotten a little bit better. But the thing is, what cut me off completely from the whole Nia train is on Friday Night SmackDown before the last PLE, she had that promo that she cut towards Bailey where she said, "I'm going to victimize you." And that was one of the worst promos I've ever heard in my life. Like, it was so cringy, it literally made my skin crawl. And I was like, okay, this
But that might not be on her though. That's the writers doing that.
But still, I mean, even the delivery of the promo was horrible. Like, it was.
And here's something else that y'all have to remember. This is probably the first time that I can think of in a very long time where they've taken the King and Queen of the Ring and actually put World Heavyweight like the big titles on them. Because you think recently, Shinsuke Nakamura, when he won it, he ended up winning the Intercontinental Championship. Baron Corbin didn't win crap, and then I can't remember who won it in between before and after them. Sheamus, and Sheamus, I think he got the U.S. title.
Xavier Woods.
I was gonna say Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he didn't win anything, which I think
And
that man
Xavier
deserves
Woods
a
won the titles on like.
We're losing you, Ricky.
Well, I mean, and that has to be debated later on. Well, since y'all are losing me, man, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. But anyway, I just wanted to hop on here real quick, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Hey man, you too.
Rick.
Right.
Look at John being fancy with his movable table.
Mine was in standing mode too. I decided to sit down earlier.
Yeah, I got tired of standing.
Yeah, same
Little
here.
did you guys know I've been standing this entire time.
I can literally see the chair behind you. Shut the fuck up.
It's actually that is the driver's seat right here, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, in campers where they have that like little section where there's a little table and 2 benches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Can we get like a picture of your setup?
Okay, it's not bad.
You're making it work.
I'm making it work.
Oh yeah.
For the most part.
The camper life.
That side profile. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a good side profile.
Ooh.
It's impressive. That's a good
It
beard.
looks better than
Thanks,
the
man.
front.
Oh, that's a
I
good
appreciate
The side profile looks better than the front profile.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. All right. Are you boys ready to wrap up the show?
Yes, I'm ready to go watch this game.
All right, you need to play your game too.
Yeah, don't forget to play your game. It's still 14-14, by the way. And also, Alex.
Yeah.
Didn't I talk you in to UAPB?
You did.
Why'd you change?
It happened.
Why am I the only one that
it
has them
happened
locked
in?
in on
It
Run Your
happened
Poll?
in the show.
Yeah, it happened in the show because he said that if I went with Hawaii over UCLA, he'd switch. And I
Yeah,
said, okay,
it happened in the show.
I missed that.
Yeah, it was in the show. Go listen to it.
Yep.
Yep.
It was.
I'm sure my grandma heard it.
Yep. Correct. Anyway, let's go around the room. Shane, last thoughts.
I mean, it hopefully it's a good show. Unfortunately, I think due to the time that it starts, I'm not going to be able to watch it. But I hope it's a good show. I look forward to watching it back on various platforms when I do get home. And I look forward to looking at Randy Orton hold the title up.
All right, John, last thoughts.
Yeah, I don't. Well, this is probably going to be like we've said, a fairly predictable show. We generally know what's going to happen. The good thing is most of these should be really good matches. So it should be fun to watch regardless of how it goes down.
Facts. Jacob, what about you?
I'll agree with that. Yeah, these matches, we know who's going to win for the most part. But I think it's a pretty solid card when you think of it as just specific wrestling matches. Gunther versus Randy, going to be a banger. Cody versus Kevin, probably going to be a banger. Punk and Drew's going to steal the show, though.
Facts. Yeah,
For
facts.
sure. This is their pay-per-view, in my opinion.
It is. It is. This
Aside from the pop that Gunther's going to get when he walks out.
Also true. Also true. No, very predictable card, but should be a good card. Punk and Drew alone is all I need. That's going to sell it for me. So, but if you made it all the way to the end of episode 2 of A Terrible Wrestling Show, we appreciate the hell out of you. So again, this is an abnormal schedule show. So at the bare minimum, the next show that will come out will be October 5th, which is the same day as Bad Blood. We will record that October 3rd. We would love to fit another show in there between now and then, and we very well may fit 1 or 2. We'll see. This depends on everyone's schedules, but if you could still just follow the show on all platforms that it's on, check out A Terrible Sports Network where it is going to get posted. We'd appreciate all that extra support. Thank you. With that said, thank you so much for listening to the worst football podcast, not football, worst wrestling podcast on the internet that has not almost been sued yet, unlike the football podcast. Shout out to that. Goodbye.